Streaming. Hello everyone. I'm back to do some more art and I just realized I put that on the wrong page. 1 second. This has to go over here. Can you guys not see me again? Why does this happen every time? Every time I try to stream. Okay, let me see. Why is it not showing my face? It's not showing anything. Oh, okay, there we go. Good. There. Okay. Hello. I'm Sherry. And I'm going to be doing a new streaming art video. Here, let's see. One sec, I'll show you the art that we're going to be doing today. Did I save it? Yeah, I did. Good. No, I didn't. Okay, so anyway, this is the mushroom house thing that we're going to be doing today in the painting. I'm actually gonna, I might, if I have time, do 2 different ones. But we're gonna start off with this one. So what you need is a pencil, of course. Okay, what? Sorry, something just showed up on my computer saying error. It was like last time. How did I fix it last time? I did this, I think, right? Did that work? Did it work? I don't know if it worked or not. But I think it's okay. I'm just gonna refresh this, see if it... Okay. Hey. Hi, James. Okay. So, yeah. So you need a pencil, a paintbrush. I like to use this one. As you can see, it's been used before. I also like to have a smaller paintbrush. I like these ones that are kind of off, like off on the bottom, like a little bit smaller to bigger, because it's good. I use the point part to do like words and outlines and things, but I also have my, I've lost my black one, but I also use my paint markers because they get more of a straight edge. Okay. Oh, you'll need an eraser, which I do not have up here. That's okay. I'll just use the end of my pencil eraser. But it's nice to have like a normal eraser as well so you can erase the lines. Okay. Oh, and you'll need your paint. Which I have here. So there's blue, there's light blue, and dark blue for the sky. We have dark green. Okay, green for the grass. So that's just what we'll start with for the beginning because we want to paint the background before we do the giant mushroom. So take your bigger brush. And then I'm going to start from the bottom. So you want to kind of go like a third of the way up, not all the way up. And then take Hopefully I'll get a better camera that doesn't lag so much eventually. Okay, here we go. Put that somewhere where I won't spill it. Where my cat won't jump up and spill it either. Get it on the paintbrush. And then you want to paint a line all the way across. And it doesn't have to be perfectly straight because it's the ground. So if it's a little wobbly, that's okay. Because the ground is not flat. It's not one straight line. Now, if you want to be more advanced, you can add more colors to the bottom of the green to give it more details. I might do that. I cannot find my dark green, so I don't know if I will. But for the sky, I definitely am going to. There we go. Okay. I think I might have just painted my easel a little bit. Yep. Okay. Oh, there's one thing I forgot. You want to keep a piece of paper towel around as well, because I like to wipe off my brush with paper towel. Because that way you don't have the excess colors and stuff on it. Okay, so there's the grass on the bottom. And do I have something to wipe this off with? Oh. 1 second. As I'm knocking over. Okay, so that's the green for the grass. And we're just gonna put that over here because I'll do 2 coats because this paint that I'm using is very transparent. The metallic color, so it gives it a bit of a shine. You don't have to use a metallic paint. You can use just a regular acrylic paint. It's probably work just as well, if not better. How many paintings do I do in a year? That's a good question. A lot. I actually have an online Facebook set up for all of my paintings that I am selling. I have sold 2 so far. But there are more available if you want to check that out. It's called Little Lynne Boutique on Facebook. I'm also on Instagram, and it's also called Little Lynne Boutique on Instagram as well. You can check that out. I'll link the description, the links in the below like I did with the other painting. Okay, so now this part's gonna be a little different. So you want to do the darker color. I'm just gonna move this up because I don't want to. For some reason, this thing comes down a little bit. There we go. So you want to use a bit of extra paint when doing this part around the top because you want it to go kind of to here. And then you paint in the whole top area here. Now this area down here is going to be the lighter blue, but you're going to mix the dark and light in between here so it fades down to the lighter color rather than just having the dark color. That way you get like a sunset sky kind of feeling. But we're just going to paint in the top part there first. I'm just gonna... Yeah, I do a lot of paintings because, I mean, I have got, like, I used to work at a hair salon and I quit my job and started working at Best Buy, a tech company. Um, so I don't paint obviously when I'm working, but on my free time, I like to just relax and do some paintings. I mean, and anybody can do this. This is not something that you have to be a professional to do. Um, I started because during the pandemic, all of us hairstylists were out of jobs, obviously. Um, and I've always loved art ever since I was a kid. It's like one of my favorite things, especially painting. Uh, but I also like I've made my own jewelry. I've tried to make some stuff with resin recently. Um, which I might put some of that on my store, but I mean, I'm still learning that, and that stuff stinks. It's a very stinky kind of toxic stuff. And of course, like when I first started, it was not perfect. I mean, I'm still not perfect. I don't think saying that you're perfect at doing anything is realistic because there's always room for improvement and there's always room for growth in whatever it is you're doing. I mean, unless the world just stops learning new things, which I don't think it's possible. Um, yeah, so there I was, bored out of my mind, stuck at home for 3, 4 months, and I just thought, oh, I'm going to paint. I actually picked up a thing at the dollar store and was like, I'm gonna do some painting when I get home. And then it started from that. I started looking up pictures on Pinterest and just like fiddling around with the painting. And then I kept at it, and it's been almost 4 years now, and I'm still painting. And I wanted to make these videos to show people how to do paintings because I really want to help people um, figure out how to do that kind of stuff. So now I'm going in with the lighter color. And I'm going to put it not completely touching just yet. Because we want to get it to the bottom first. Let's see, what's your other question? What's my favorite painting that I've done? Oh, oh, that's a big question. I guess I kind of have two. There's this giant painting that I did with my best friend Amber. Um, it was like our first kind of paint night together. I went over to her place, and she's done painting a lot longer than I have, so she was going to teach me a few techniques and a few things. So I went over to her place and we painted for 8 hours. It took me 8 hours to do. It's a giant, huge painting. It's the biggest canvas I think I've ever used. Um, so that's one of my favorite paintings. It's of a tree with a rainbow background. I can probably find it. I'll just finish painting this here. Yeah, you want to go all the way to the green, but don't overlap the green. And just kind of follow the line that you made before. Don't worry if it overlaps, because you can always go back and fix it. Yeah, so I definitely would say that that one is one of my favorites. And then another one that's my favorite is just one that I'm super proud of because I looked at it and I kind of thought, oh, that looks difficult. I don't think this is going to turn out very well. And then when I finished it, I was actually really happy with how it looked because it looked a whole lot better than what I thought it would turn out to look. And it's a mermaid tail. It's one of the ones that I have for sale. But it was one of my favorite paintings because I got to use a lot of different techniques. There's a splatter technique that I used in it, which is really fun, where you just get to like with the paint. And I mean, of course, that's anytime you do that is fun. I also used like a bit of a dabbing technique with a sponge and just to make the water look a little more frothy. Okay, so this is the part where you want to take the two blues and you want to kind of mix them together. See, now you might need to add a little bit more of the darker blue, but you want to come up and just kind of keep going till it fades together. And you want to move your paintbrush back and forth like this, because it gives more of a streaky look. And then you can see that you're getting the two mixed colors, and it's changing kind of the way that the color looks. I'm usually used to doing this with the painting lying down, but it's not lying down right now. And you don't want to go too high or too low, just kind of so it mixes the colors in. And I always paint the edges of my paintings too, because I think it looks cleaner. Okay. And you can always add more paint if you're finding it hard to blend it. That's part of the reason that I love using acrylic paint, is it blends so nice. I did do an oil painting before, and it didn't. It's harder to blend oil paints. It did not blend nearly like what I thought it would. I mean, don't get me wrong, oil paintings are amazing, but they take forever to dry, and it was not doing what I wanted it to do. So I might take up oil painting again, but I also like to take a bit of the extra paint off of your paintbrush and then just go over it again. I go all the way down and then wipe off like the lighter blue color and then start from the top again and wipe your way down. So then you get kind of like a dark blue faded to light blue color. It might be hard to see because it's so shiny. Let me see if I can I tilt this up anymore? No, I can't. Ugh. Just one sec. I'm gonna add a little bit more of the dark blue, I think. What's your favorite? What's your heart painting? What do you mean, James? What's my heart? What's the hardest painting you mean? The hardest painting I've ever done? I'd say that's the One Piece painting I've been trying to do. You will see I'm a huge anime fan, especially One Piece. I hope that show goes on forever. I know people keep telling me, they're like, Sherry, it's gotta end. I'm like, no, not for me. I love it. I'll watch that show as long as you want to make it. But yeah, I've been doing the logos for each one of the characters, and they are available on my Facebook and Instagram as well. And some of them are really easy, but the One Piece logo, like the flag that they have hanging off of their ship, that thing is so hard to do because the hat and the circle for the skull are so perfectly circular that if you don't get it just right, it just doesn't work. And I have to keep doing it and then changing it and then doing it and then changing it. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna practice it on a piece of paper. Like this is, I'd suggest this for anyone if you're having or struggling with your paintings. Just take a piece of paper and do it on the piece of paper first. Make lots of first copies. Like my brother, who is asking lots of wonderful questions here, he wanted a painting of orca whales, and I had never painted a whale, never drawn a whale, never done anything with that before. So I started off painting his painting on a piece of paper. And I think I did 6 or 7 of the other ones. And I started off not painting at all. I started off drawing. I found a video on how to draw a whale. So I started by drawing the whale. And then I added the paint to the drawing that I had done. And then I did it again and again and again until I was happy with the results. And it must have been 6 or 7 times that I did it. And he has the painting now, and I think it's still hung up in his bedroom. I don't know. Did you hang it up in your room? I don't know. But if I'm ever making a painting for someone that I'm not 100% sure if I'm going to like how it is, or It's just something that I feel like I need a little more practice with. I always practice it on a piece of paper first. It's it's not a bad idea. And the other thing too is say yes to things that you find difficult because you can learn. Like I didn't know how to paint a whale. I didn't know how to do any of that. And I figured it out. So, that's the other thing. Just because something looks hard does not mean that it's going to be hard. Just break it down into the steps. It's like we're doing with this. We didn't just start off with drawing the mushroom. We started with the sky. Well, we started with the grass and then we did the sky. And you just take it step by step. And if you find one step's too hard, take a step back, try it again. Like I said, find a piece of paper, do it again. You don't always have to go straight to a canvas. But yeah, here, I'll just take a break from that so because it's got to dry before we do the next part. I'm gonna go over the green again, like I said, because it's a bit of a transparent green and I don't want it to be see-through. So, I will show you some of those paintings that I was talking about. I mean, I have fun with all of the paintings that I do. Because like I said, I love painting. One second, actually might be easier for me to go to Facebook to find this. Now, the big tree painting I was talking about that is one of my favorite paintings. Is not on Facebook. I don't think I have it for sale on Facebook right now because it took forever, but it also cost a lot to make because we had to buy the big canvas and we had to buy a lot of paint just to get the paint on the canvas. And then there were the paintbrushes and we used alcohol to do this flat thing, which I'll probably do in a different video. It's a really cool technique that leaves a really, really nice design on your painting. But because of how much it costs, I'm not selling it for 30 bucks. There's no way. I'll lose out on money if I sell it for that much. And right now, some of my paintings and stuff are... Did I not put it in an album? Oh, this is gonna be so annoying. Okay, well anyway, the fishtail one is this one. So this is one of the ones I'm extremely proud of. It's so I oh, it's so fuzzy. Wait for it to settle in. Yeah, so this one I'm selling for $30. It's a bigger canvas than this. The details on the sides and everything are on my Facebook. But for this I had to do the splatter. I also had to use the sponge. There's a lot of stroke and different techniques in this painting, as well as like a whole bunch of different colors that I mixed, most of them by scratch. That's what I do a lot of the time when I'm painting, is I will have colors like this, and then I'll be like, oh, I need a darker blue. I'll add black. And then I'll be like, oh, what if I add this blue with this green? And then I'll get a bunch of different colors, and that's how I do my paintings. I mix the colors to the color that I want, or if it turns out to just be a color that I like, I'm like, okay, I'll use that. I mean, not to say I don't buy the colors that I like, it's just sometimes you want a specific color in your head, and you're just like, oh, I need this color. And, yeah, that's what I do. What are you doing? Sorry, my dog's doing something. Peach, what are you doing? Did you open my bottle? Hey, what are you doing? Oh. Oh. Stop it. Okay. Hey, stop it. Leave it alone. Leave it alone. Lie down. Hey, lie down. I know, it's spilled on the bed. I know. No. Here's what we're gonna do. Okay. Lie down, sweetie. Sorry, my puppy Knocked over my Gatorade. Onto my bed. Okay. Yeah, that's looking pretty good. That's the other thing about the transparent colors is they're very streaky. Um, so yeah, they can be very, very streaky, and it's not something that I love about them. That's why I don't have any dark blue that's not in the transparent metallic color. So I've got to find one that isn't. um, and here, while I'm looking for this and we're waiting for this to dry, I'll show you guys a few of my first paintings because I want you to understand that what I mean. Like, I've done this painting before that we're doing. This was the version that I did. I added a little mushroom beside it, like a little mushroom mailbox. It's one of my favorite paintings to do, so that's why I decided to stream it. But I have all sorts of different kinds of paintings. Just one sec. So many. Yeah, like I did Gary from SpongeBob. I just kind of paint what I like. Oh, here's the one that I did for my brother with the whales that I was telling you about. This is not the final product. This is one of the ones that I did as a practice. Because as you can see, my clouds need to be a little bit better. I still have to work on that. Clouds are kind of hard to do. But you know, with practice, it takes time. Like, this was the first whale that I ever drew. And then, like I said, I added paint to it so that's how I started. I started with the drawing, then I added this, and then I continued on from there. Um, very much like a step-by-step process. Yeah, so this is the big giant tree painting that I'm very proud of. And yes, if I did it now, I would probably change some of the things that I did in it. But you have to think this was the first time I ever did a big giant canvas. And I had to draw all of these branches. I'll try to make it as close as you possibly can to see it. But every single branch on there I drew by hand myself. It took me 8 hours. And most of it was just doing the background first. Like, you can see those little, like, I don't even know how to describe them. It's like a splosh, like, squish technique that you do with, like, a square sponge end on a brush. And you just tap it, you put it in the alcohol and the paint, and then you just tap it down, and it creates this kind of a background-ish thing. And then, yeah, I drew the tree before I painted it, and then I painted the background, and then I had to draw the tree again. It was a very long, long process for making this painting, and it took 8 hours. But that's the one I'm most proud of. It's something that when I went there, I did not think I was going to achieve, and when I came back, I had done it. And maybe I look at it and I think, oh, some of the branches could be a little bit better, some of this could be a little bit more this, but you know, that's everything with everything. I'm not the only person. I'm a bit of a perfectionist. I like to keep things, make sure I do things the best that I can. It's just kind of my personality. Hello. We have a friend here. What are you doing over here? You're not allowed over here. Here, I'll show you guys. This is my puppy. Her name is Peach. Come back here, you crazy girl. She... Ugh, where is she? Okay. What are you doing? Peach. Okay, the camera doesn't go that far. I did not realize. This will be cut out in the video that I make. Peach, can you please come here, please? Hey, come here. Come here. Why? Yes, you're yawning. You're not supposed to be on this side. Daddy's gonna see this and he's gonna be like, "What's she doing down here?" Actually, he's at a concert right now. Puppy, she's. Okay, come here. Ugh. No, watch your head. Yeah, this is my puppy Peach. You might see her in later videos. I want to do some dog training videos as well. Obviously, one of the dog training videos I would say is if she's not allowed somewhere, don't let her be allowed to appear. But this is Peach. Look, Peachy. Say hi to everybody. See? That's Peachy. She's got bright blue eyes. She's a work of art herself. You gonna lie on my lap? If you lie on my lap, you're okay, but you can't just go around sniffing stuff. You're not supposed to be down here, you crazy girl. She's a little tiny bit attached to me. But yes, I also don't have a picture of the hardest painting that I have ever had to do because I haven't taken a picture of it because I've never finished it. Because I'm just so unhappy with the way it looks before I start painting that I wanna do better. But I found some of the ones that I did when I first started. So this is the very first painting that I did back in 2020. Or 2019. Actually, I might be able to. Where do you think you're going? Facebook is not my friend today. This is one that I will probably video. My brother is a huge fan of wolves. So I wanted to make him a wolf painting. Now, most people look at that and they don't know what it is. It's a wolf. It was supposed to be a wolf. It's not the best painting I've done. It's probably the worst one. But I'm going to do a video on me redoing it because that's one of my things. Is like another thing that's really nice to do is when you've tried doing paintings for a very long time, is try doing one that you did from the past just to see like where you are and how far you've come, because you may look at your paintings and you think, oh, I still haven't mastered this, or I still haven't done that, and that can be a really like downer when you do something like that. But if you just try one that you've done and haven't done in a while, like I'm gonna go back and try these paintings that I did like 4 years ago, and try to do them again, and you'll see you have come far. You have learned and grown as a painter or in anything really. Yeah, because that's it. It's all learning. It's all growth. I mean, we're so hard on each other nowadays. We need to, be nice to people. And, life is hard. And you don't always get it right. So it's okay to have to go back and do something again and try again. You're never going to get it the first time. And if you do, that's great. That's great. But I'd like to say, the world's not going to end if you mess up a painting. You can just pick up a brush and do it again. And that's the same for anything in life, like I quit my job and started working for a tech company instead of a hairstyling company. And I mean, it was a big change and I'm happy I did it, but I, I wasn't happy and I wanted something different. So instead of sitting around moping, I got off my butt and I changed careers. And yes, it was scary. It was something that I wasn't sure that I could do. And I mean, I'm still don't know how the people I work with look at me and go, wow, she's she doesn't know that. But everyone I work with is amazing. They're all super nice and I love them all. I don't know if I tell them that all the time. They're so supportive. It's absolutely amazing. Um, and it's really nice to have that. Good luck. Thank you. Oh, look at her. You're so tired. Yeah, I know. Look at you. You were like, Mummy's over here. I want to be over here. But you're not supposed to be over here. You just gonna lie there? Because if you're just gonna lie here, like, you guys have to understand, she's 25 pounds. So she's not small. Just lie there, baby. Okay, so, let's see. Okay, the bottom. No, it's not done. Grr. Okay, maybe James was right. I should start my other painting too, because I have 2 painting ideas for this video. So I'm just gonna put this one over here while we wait for it to dry. And then we're gonna open this other one, and I'm gonna hope you're gonna stay, right? Because if not, I'm gonna have to put you somewhere else. I'm gonna have to put you somewhere else, because I don't want you running around up here, over here. This is the area you're not allowed to be in. Thanks for the good luck, James. Okay. Yeah, I have another canvas. I had 2 painting ideas. These paintings are small. I figured I could do 2. Stop trying to eat it! I was not expecting to do this with a dog on my lap. You know? Daddy's gonna come back and he's gonna be laughing at this video. He's gonna be like, oh, our dog's in the video! Like, this chair is okay for you to sit in, but not for the 2 of us. Okay, just give me a second. I'm gonna put her back where she's supposed to be. If you come back over here, I'm gonna have to put you in the crate, and I don't want to do that because you'll cry. Ah, what are you doing? Okay. Oh. Peach, just lie down, please. Lie down, sweetie. No, you can't come here. Lie down. Lie down, baby girl. Yeah, just lie down. Good girl. Yeah, that's a good girl. That's a good girl. There we go. Got the dog off my lap. Yeah, she's a sweetie. She's only 4 months old. We're taking her to puppy training in April. But, you know, puppies. No, you can't come over here. Lie down, please. Mommy will watch a movie with you later. Yeah, later. This isn't food. That's a good girl. Yeah, that's my baby. She finally lied down. Okay. So the second painting I'm going to do, I find adorable. It's a little cactus in the shape of a heart. And I've done this one once before as well. It's just one that I really like and I find really cute and adorable. It's easy for anyone who's a beginner. It's a good painting to start with if you're not sure if you can do something. Yeah, it's a simple one. I guess that's all I can say about it. I kind of love it because I find it absolutely adorable. It's this little painting guy with a little flower coming out of the cactus. So first you're going to need brown and then light brown. And here's where we get to mix some colors because I don't have light brown, but I have white and I have brown. So that works for me. So actually, I'm just gonna put the cap on this one. Okay. Oh, and there's one other thing I want to say about this too. About, you know, life in general. I'm no expert on life or whatever, you know, but I've been through some stuff. And one of the things I want to say is just because you're like, I know people in my life who are unhappy in their work and unhappy with their jobs, and they just look at me and they're like, well, but I'm in my 40s and, you know, I can't change my life right now. I don't care how old you are. I don't care what it is. If you are unhappy, you can change your life for the better. You can get up. You can do what I did. If you don't like your job or you're unhappy, you can get off your butt, find a new job, go to school. Go to school. I'm changing my career again. I'm interested in human resources and I want to do that, so I'm going to school for it. And you know, who knows what it's going to do? Who knows if it'll take me anywhere, but I don't care. If I, you know, I'm going to be 30 this year. If I was turning 40, I wouldn't care. I'm going to go and I'm going to do it because it's something that I want. And if you are unhappy and you believe doing one thing or making even one change will make you happy, do it. Because it's not worth sitting there and questioning and wondering and hemming and hawing about it. Just do it. Because you deserve to be happy. Everyone deserves to be happy. That's just what I want to say about that. I just know too many people who are down on themselves and they think they can't. But they can. You can. I believe in you. Every single one of you. Even if nobody's watching this video. I will say it now and I will say it again. I will say it years. Even if I don't become a great YouTuber, I will tell everyone I know. I believe in you. because I believe that people can do great things. I do. And I don't ever want to make someone feel bad about something because I know what it's like to feel bad, and I don't ever want to do that to somebody. So believe in yourself and give yourself a break. Okay. So like we did with the last one, we're going to start around the same side. Sorry, same point on the painting, and we're going to try to make this line as straight as possible as we can. One thing you can do if you want this to be perfectly straight. See, I don't really care because, like, I am a perfectionist with my painting, but unless the painting in the picture that I look at is extremely straight, that's the only time I will use a ruler. If it's if it's like a coffee table or the ground or something, I'm just like, it doesn't have to be perfect. And I do have a ruler here, so if I wanted to, I could make it straight. But I just don't care enough to do so. Okay. So, where do you ever teach somebody? Would you ever teach some? Would I ever teach some, like, do an art class? Um, yeah, I'd say, yeah, I wouldn't mind doing that. I was actually recently talking with my best friend Amber, and we're going to look into putting our art in art festivals because Kingston has a lot of festivals around. And they do like art ones, there's a tattoo one, there's the Pride Parade that I went to, which was really awesome. If you haven't been to one, go. It's amazing. Um and they do all sorts of events and stuff like that. And yeah, I totally would be up for teaching someone. I actually originally went to college to be a teacher. That when I graduated high school and I was 18 years old, I signed up for early childhood education. That was my first year in college. And then I dropped out because it wasn't what I wanted to do and changed into hairstyling. And now I'm going to be going into human resources. So you can change your life as many times as you need to. Because whatever you want to do and whatever you need to find, it's there. Just go for it. That's what I'm saying. Don't ever give up on yourself. Ever. And yes, I would teach. I would teach in a heartbeat. I love people. I love being around people. I love helping people. So yeah, I would definitely teach art. I mean, personally, I feel like I'd have to have some growth in art to do that. But I mean, that's kind of what these videos are for. These introductions to how to paint are kind of for that. I wanted to kind of show, like, the reason why I'm doing these videos has lots of reasons. Like, one of them was to teach people how to do art. Because I know it can be hard finding a video that's a good video on how to do art. As I've watched a lot of them. There are great videos out there. There's one guy who has the drawing picture videos, and dude, he's amazing. I can't remember his name, but he's absolutely amazing, and I follow his how to draw videos all the time. And if I had never seen one of those videos, I don't think I could draw nearly the way that I do now. Like, I drew a little sketch at work, and the people were like, "You should do that as a tattoo." And I'm like, yeah, but 100% I would teach art. That'd be really fun, actually. At a community center or something, yeah, for sure. Yeah, but that's what these videos are for. They're for you guys to learn. It's also for my art skills to get out there because I am trying to sell my paintings. But mostly I'm doing this because I want to help people. I'm a big on people pleasing and helping, and yeah, just being there for people. I believe that the world is already harsh enough with everything that goes on, and I mean, I've heard a lot of things. Like, being a hairdresser, you talk to a lot of people, and you meet a lot of people, and in my life in general, I've met a lot of different people and been through a lot of different things with a lot of different people. Like, you know, my brother knows we had a bit of a rough start in life. But it got better. Don't worry. But knowing that and seeing that, I wanna make people's lives better. I don't wanna ever make anybody feel sad. Yeah, that's just my opinion. And that's the thing too on here. Like, I just say things how it is. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna pretend like I'm the best painter in the entire world. This is just something fun for me to do. I don't want to be like written up as an expert or anything like that, because I'm not. There are definitely probably techniques and things out there that I've never learned and I don't know. I'm learning, just like everyone else is learning in the world. And I might make a mistake. I mean, if you've watched any of my videos of me playing video games, you'll definitely see that I make mistakes. I mean, my first two streams on YouTube, the first one, you couldn't see me, and the second one, I had no sound. Because I'm not the best with technology. Well, with setting up this kind of thing. So, yeah, I would definitely be into teaching people. I want to make the world a better place. That's what I want to do. That's why I want to join human resources. Because I know that the human resource people are people that are there for you. Okay, so now what I'm doing, oh, I should probably show you what I'm doing. Okay, I'm gonna tilt this down a little bit so you can see my art station. So I just got this little piece of cardboard. I just like to use things that I can throw away easily, and not have to wash afterwards. But what I did is I took a tiny bit of the brown and a tiny bit of the white, and now I'm mixing it together to get a light brown color. Now, in the picture, I think the color is a little bit lighter. So I'm just gonna add a tiny bit more of the white. Eventually I'll get one of those paint things where I don't have to use cardboard, but I don't have one yet. Okay, so I think that looks kind of like the color in the painting. So I'm just gonna make sure that it's all the same. There. So now you want to do the top. Oh, right. I gotta move it again. There. So now you want to do just the entire thing, because this one doesn't have an ombre effect on it. So you just want to do the entire thing. So this is just going to be the background for behind the cactus. So that's the other thing you'll see about me, is I sometimes get distracted and forget what I'm saying. It's a little bit of my ADHD going on there. Yeah, because sometimes I'll be completely on topic and then all of a sudden something will pop into my head and I'll be like, oh, what about this? It happens a lot for me. Yeah, but James, you already know that. Have I really been painting for 48 minutes? It only feels like I just started. I guess that makes sense. The other thing was I was not ready for the time change. I was not expecting that. Like, who woke up this morning and was like, not this morning, the other morning, and was like, oh my gosh, time change. I didn't even notice till I went downstairs to check to feed the dog, and then I was like, why does the stove say a different time? And then I was like, oh yeah, because of time change. Oh. I wish I had known the night before. I wouldn't have stayed up so early. I mean, so late. Okay, so it looks like there's also dark green and light green on this cactus there as well. So we'll probably have to mix those colors too. There we go. Sorry, I just had to mix a little bit more of the color because I didn't mix enough originally. And there we go. And then after this, we'll probably move back to the other painting because this one will need to dry. Now, I sometimes like to take it so that it looks kind of like a box around where I'm trying to paint. I find if you have like a paintbrush with a flatter edge and you just lightly press down right above the line that you created originally and flick your wrist up, that gives you a little bit more of an edge and you don't overlap on the bottom part of the painting that you're doing. And that way you don't mix the colors and nothing gets disturbed. Sometimes you have a little bit of this where it bleeds into the other color, but I'm not too worried about that because the cactus is going to be in the middle of the painting. So it's okay. And then you just fill in the gaps. Fill in the gaps. And you can do it any which way. You can paint this way, you can paint up and down. Doesn't really matter. Just get the paint on there. Someone text me. Sorry, 1 second. Oh, that's amazing. James, did mom tell you? I'm live streaming. I don't know if I'm allowed to say. I just gotta. My parents are selling their house. It's good news. Okay. See, they had so many showings, I knew they'd get an offer. That's wonderful. Now they just need a place to live. I mean, my parents' house is a beautiful house. It's the house I grew up in. They could have a bidding war. They had so many people looking into buying the house. I mean, not to viewing the house. I bet they will. They had so many viewings. They had to take out their dogs and like leave because you can't be in the house when you're having someone view it. Okay. You know what I find really nice? So, I'm sorry, this is where I'm getting sidetracked and changing topics. My fiance is away right now. He's going to a concert. And he's texting me while being at the concert. I find it really, really nice. I find it really cute. Um, because I guess he really liked the opening band for the concert that he's going to. So he texted me a little video of them playing, and they were good. I agreed. I liked them too. They were nice. He even sent me their Spotify, so I'll listen to some of their music later. Um, but he's also like messaging me and being like, "Oh, look, they have this and they have that," and I just find that really, really sweet because I haven't always had that in my relationships. It's like, so you leave and you just don't hear from the person or whatever. But he's actually texted me all day long and I love it. I love it so much. I love him. Well, we're getting married, of course I love him. That's the other thing. Like, I mean, I want to do videos on a lot of things. I want to start doing like a live action vlog of my life because I think that that would be really cool. I don't know if people would care about my life, but I mean, I've been through a lot of things I find myself interesting. I'm trying this thing called more confidence and self-esteem. And so I mean I'll get there someday, I'll get there. It's all in progress and learning and everything. I mean, I've always been that kind of person. I used to be such a what do you call it, an optimist, person. Not that I'm not optimistic anymore. I just the world sometimes gets you down. This is not the same color. See, this is the issue I have when I don't. You want to make sure when you're mixing paint to mix enough to do what you're doing, because if you do what I do, which is usually I mix a little bit and then I am always get to the point where I'm almost finished and I didn't mix enough. So now I've got to try to make the color again, and it's either too light and then you put too much in and it's too dark. So it's like, grr. So you just keep trying to mix and mix and mix and mix. Okay, this is getting closer. Okay, actually, I think I got it. Might be... Actually, no, I think it's still a little bit too light. Oh well, but if you do ever do this, it's good to start with like really small points. Like, don't just go in and put a whole bunch in, because that's what always gets me in trouble. I mixed the white with the brown, and I just keep putting little drops of brown just to make it more, but not a huge difference, because I don't, yeah, I think I got it here. Because I don't want to put too much and then have to add more white, so. Yeah, I got it. There. Ta-da! So you'll get it eventually. It's just a mistake that I made. Okay, I like this color. It's kind of like a coffee, giving me coffee mocha vibes, like coffee with milk in it. Like, this is the coffee before you put the milk in, and this is the coffee after. I think the whole point of this painting is it's supposed to be in someone's bedroom. Okay, now I'm just gonna pick it up and I'm going to paint the sides of it because I hate leaving the painting without the sides painting. To me, it looks unfinished. I mean, you can leave the sides to your painting white by all means, that's up to you, but this is just my preference. I like to have the sides of my painting painted. Because I just think if you're hanging it on the wall and you look at the side and you just got like this, like where it's slightly painted but not, because that usually is what happens when you paint painting, is you kind of get it over the edge and you don't get the whole thing. It's like those paintings where people put the tape around the edges of it here. I don't like that. I find that very weird. I'm like, why didn't you paint the whole thing? You like missed part of a section of your painting. Okay, she's sending me so much. My mom talks to me in paragraphs. Yeah, she's saying that they might get multiple offers. I think they will get multiple offers on their house. They had like 7 showings in one day. But I think it's great that they're getting offers, because the first time they put their house on the market, everyone was like, oh, it's too noisy. I'm like, all you posh people. Like, too noisy. Come live in the city, man. There's sirens here every day. Noisy? You insane? I go home just to get some quietness. Or, sorry, I should say to my parents, just to be in a quiet place, because it is noisy in the city. And I live down, well, not downtown, but in Kingston, in the city. Okay, so we're gonna put our painting back on the thingy. And I'm gonna let this one, try not to touch it with my fingers. I'm gonna let that one dry, which I did get paint on me. That is one of the things. I do not have one yet, but you might want to get a paint smock. This is a dress that I do not want to get paint on, so I'm being very careful not to paint myself. But I usually come with all, I usually have paint all over me. It's usually on my arms. Yeah, I've already got it on my arm. It's usually, sometimes it's on my face. It just happens. I'm a messy painter. That's why when I get a house, I will love to have my own painting studio where I could just flash paint it wherever. I also want to try one of those like drip paintings where you put paint in a in a thing and you pour it. Paint pour, that's what it's called. Yeah. I love your dog. I love my dog too. She's adorable. You want to see what she's doing right now? I'll show you. She's looking so cute. Look at the little Peachy. Look at little Peachy. She's sleeping. Yeah. She finally settled down. See, She's a high energy dog. I walked her 3 times around the block today. And my fiance is usually home and usually pays with her, but he hasn't because he's been away. And yeah, so she can sometimes take a lot out of me. Okay. Ugh, sorry. There we go. Sorry, I just want to read what my mom said real quick. I don't know what any of that means, but okay. Sure. Whatever. I don't know. I've never had a house. I've never sold a house. Okay. Actually, I might wait to do the second layer of green because we are going to put the picture on top of it, so it might actually be okay. And I am going to go over it with darker green, so to give more of a contrast, I have to mix it. I don't know how well it'll go because this stuff doesn't mix very well because, like I said, it's transparent. Okay, so we've got the background for our mushroom. One sec. I have to pull up the mushroom painting again. Nope, that's not where I put it. Okay, so the next part is to draw the mushroom. So I like to draw things before I paint them, because I find it's a lot easier to do that because then you kind of have an outline of where you want all your stuff to be. That way when you go to paint it, you don't do something and go, oh, I don't like the way, or you don't have to like completely repaint the painting to do that. So what am I gonna do? I don't have anywhere to put this. I'm just going to lightly sketch it on my knee because I find it really hard to draw up like this. So I will point the camera down so you guys can see. Okay. It does have a step on how to paint. Okay. How do I do this? I'm gonna move this over here, I think, and I'll put this here. There. It might press on my keyboard. I don't know what that's gonna do. I don't know how I got eraser markings on the painting already. Okay. So we kind of want the bottom base to start here. And then it looks like the side of it comes here. And then the other part of it is like around here. So you just want to kind of connect the lines that you draw. I think it's still up a bit too much. Okay, there we go. Can you see the lines? I don't know. I have a terrible camera. Okay. So, and if you need to draw past your lines, that's perfectly fine too. See, that's the one thing I don't like is drawing on canvas. It's not nice. It's so much easier to draw on paper. This one doesn't go in as much. Yeah, it's more of a curved line. It's more curved like that. See, and that's the thing, don't press too hard because you can adjust it any way you want and any way you need. And then if you have lines that you don't need, just erase them because it'll be fine. Because for some reason I always press too hard. The lines will go away when you do the painting part. Okay, so, and then the next part is the mushroom, which I'm just going to zoom in on this. I hate my zoom on my camera. Okay, never mind. I'm not going to zoom in on it. So you want to start on this side. And then you draw it down and around like that. And it doesn't have to look exactly like their picture. You can do it any which way you want. Like, that's the nice thing I find about the mushroom. Is they're all kind of different shapes and sizes, so it doesn't really matter if it looks absolutely wonderful or not. Okay. I'm going to adjust this line because I don't like how high it is. So I'm just going to go in with a little bit less of a height there. And you can also fix that up when you're painting too. Okay, so now the other thing we're going to do is we need the, oh, I already have white. Okay, so we're gonna go put it back. Okay, there. Okay, so now we're gonna grab the white. I can barely see the outline that I did. And then we're gonna go in with the big brush again. I like to flatten my brush. I flatten it when I take the paint off. I find it helps do edges very well. And then we're going to just follow the outline that we did. Yeah, and the paint will cover any of the pencil lines that you've drawn. And don't be afraid if you go over it. Like, I'm making this line a little bit bigger because I think it needs to be. If you want to adjust your lines when you're painting, it's perfectly fine. You don't have to follow the lines that you've drawn. They're just kind of like a guideline for where it should be. Because I'm like, oh, actually, since the paint's on there, I think this needs to be a little bit wider, so I just made it a little bit wider. Okay. Okay, there we go. Sorry, nose is itchy again. And then we want to be very careful with this part. See, I always do two coats of white because white sometimes is quite hard to see through. I always like to just do two coats anyway. And then you paint the middle. It kind of mixed with the blue a little bit. That's okay. That's another reason, because if the painting's not, like, I thought it was fully dry, but it's not 100% dry. Yeah, and both of these paintings that I'm doing today will be on my shop as well. They'll probably be, yeah, they're the $15 ones. Just because of the size of the canvas. My really, really small ones are 10. Okay. So there, we got the base of the mushroom. And then the top of the mushroom is red. So we want to do red. Am I red? Yeah. So I'm using a bright red. You can use whatever red you want. You can use maroon. You can use anything. It's your painting. Do with the colors shall you will. Whatever you will or whatever. I was trying to say something clever. It came out funky. Oh yeah, I work tomorrow. Okay, and for this one, I'm just gonna do the edges part first. There we go. For some reason, the red is not looking very red. That's okay, we'll do another coat of the red too once it dries. Okay, I figured out what I did wrong. I made a mistake. It's not supposed to be like that. Okay. This makes more sense. Actually, should be more like this. There. Yeah. It's supposed to be more up like this. There we go. Yeah, that looks better. I'll fix it more when I do the second coat. So that's that part of this painting. We're gonna go, I'm gonna see if, yeah, I think this one's dry. Okay. Okay, back to the cactus. Might not finish the mushroom painting today, but we can finish the cactus. Okay, so the cactus has a base to start, so we'll start with that. It's like a giant square. Goes this. Uh, okay, so you want to draw like a giant square first. Kind of round it out a little bit because it looks like it's a little bit round in the picture. And the base is kind of rounded too. There we go. And then it's got a little bit of a lip. Oops. The sides of the painting are not done drying. Okay, so that's the base. And then we're gonna paint it all white, and then we can add the stripes. So we're just gonna go in like this, around the edge. Okay, so the brown is not done drying. That's okay. Okay, we might not finish either of these paintings today. I know you guys are gonna be like, she doesn't finish her paintings. I will finish these two. I decided not to paint the Tina one again because I wasn't happy with how it turned out again. I need to practice her more, I think. For some reason, all the things I love are extremely hard to draw. Like Luffy's symbol. Okay, I made kind of a lighter brown color because some of the brown in the middle of the painting was not done drying. But that's okay. I mean, you can really paint the pot whatever you like. You don't have to do it exactly like the reference photo that you choose. Personally, I like the stripe. So we're gonna go with stripes. But I feel like if it was me, I would have had a blue pot in my bedroom. Then again, I've got a giant blue wall in my bedroom. There we go. And then okay, there we go. So that's the pot. We're gonna paint it white again once it's done drying. And then we're gonna draw the cactus. Now the cactus is pretty simple. It's just a heart without the bottom. So I'm gonna start here. Go to there. Yep. There. So just a heart. And it doesn't have to be perfectly in the center because theirs isn't. And then we want to paint that with green. And I'm actually quite happy with the way the heart turned out, so I'm not going to go over the lines. I'll have to paint the green probably 2 more times. Yeah, in my next video, I might just fast forward painting, redoing the white and the green, because that way we won't have to wait for it to dry. And then I can show you what to do next. You guys can probably hear my dog. She snores. She's a boxer, so she snores. Okay, so you got the heart. And then, yeah. That has to dry. So, before we do anything else, I would like it to dry. I don't want to do the flower just yet, because I want to make sure that the cactus is good before I do the other one. I might move it over to be more centered. But yeah, that's going to be all for my streaming tonight. Getting late, and I gotta work tomorrow morning. All day long. So, everyone have a good night. Thank you. Please subscribe. Please look into my Facebook online shop for my paintings. There are lots of them there over the last 4 years. But everyone have a good night, and be kind to one another. Be nice.